Hi, everyone. Welcome to the History of Cheese podcast. Today I have guest stars Cademan Quinton. He is a cheese expert and cheesemonger. I also have Andrew Sullivan. He is also a cheese expert. He is more of a cheese historian. How are you two today?
I am doing well. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I just said I'm doing
Andrew, how are you?
I'm really good.
Really good?
Yeah.
Really good? That's good to hear, man. So, I know we've been checking out some cheeses together while you've been in town for the podcast. Let's just start with a little icebreaker. What's been your favorite kind?
Cheddar.
After you.
Cheddar? The local cheddar?
Yeah, you got.
I think it's...
some good cheddar.
That's true. That's true. I think the local provolone's pretty good, honestly. How about yourself, Caden?
You know, me personally, I preferred myself some pepper jack.
Some pepper jack. Yeah, those local stalls, they got some good pepper jack.
Tasty.
Yeah, so let's just hop right into it. So today we're going to be covering the prehistory and early history of cheese. So cheese making, it actually predates history, as both of you know. You may not know this, the audience at home, but it actually predates history. So we don't have any conclusive evidence on when it first started, the cheese making process, that is. But our best guess is around 8 to 10,000 BC. Probably, when your mother was still around.
Probably not that old.
And the reason for this really is because that's when sheep were first domesticated. So,
How dare you?
what do you,
in particular?
what do you mean? I was looking at both of you.
Not even looking right at me.
I was looking at the wall behind you.
Okay, now you're just changing your story.
There's a moment of silence for Cademan's mother.
Plump, plump.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid.
Yeah, okay.
back to-
So, any guesses as to why?
Tell us.
Could you give us some insight?
Because we didn't record history till a certain time after that.
Wow, that's
That was a guess.
That's really good, actually. That's wow. I honestly never thought of that. Sullivan, any?
Because cheese was, like what he said, cheese was around long before we started recording history.
Right. Okay, that's really good. That's good. So, any? What do we think? Like how it started?
Cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
Cheese?
Someone's just thought, you know what? I got a good idea.
Probably the
I
same
made
way
cheese.
someone figured out how cows produce milk. They just left the milk out, and they were like, "I'm gonna eat that."
So do you think maybe they were just like storing it for a while in like animal skins? Because we know for a long time we did put like foodstuffs in animal skins to preserve it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So like I guess the main consensus right now just is that like they like put it in an animal skin to preserve it, and the stuff in the walls of the skins were just like curdly. They did some curdle magic and turned it into whey and curd. Have you had cheese curds, by the way? Just the curds? They're really good, dude. I had some at Main Street Tavern. It's this local place down at Rose District. It's so good.
Have to go.
I'm in to try cheese curds.
We're gonna
Yeah.
try after this.
Yeah, they're really good. The store-bought ones are pretty good too. I wouldn't say they're as good, but they're pretty good.
They're pretty delicious.
Oh yeah. So Poland, right? Poland. This is a really strange jump, but have
Very
you-
strange.
Poland's already
have
very
you ever been to Poland?
No, but I know they get invaded like every 100 years or so.
Do you think they ever
Poland.
got invaded by the cheesemongers?
I would have been
they
invaded
could've.
by Germany a few times.
Germany. So, well, tell me a little bit about German cheese. What's the deal with that?
It's German cheese.
Exactly. It's
It's
cheese that's
exotic.
German.
Yeah. Like how exotic? Like if you had to compare it to like any kind of like Western European cheese.
Well, the taste is
Germany
probably
is
a little
Western.
different.
Yeah. Probably a bit more like alcohol-y.
Probably a little bit more German.
Yeah.
Probably a little more, can't make
German.
a joke.
Yeah. Do you think they put it on like their strudels and stuff or?
Maybe they do.
Yeah. I mean, I would think so.
That would make sense. But then again, we're also Americans, so we
Well,
put
I haven't
cheese on
been to
everything.
Germany, so I couldn't know.
You haven't been to Germany?
No.
Really?
I haven't even left the United States.
Oh, I thought you guys were from Germany.
Nah, Canada.
9.
Canada? Oh. Well, I'm very sorry
yeah.
about that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just a moment of silence for
Not again.
Andrew's Canadianism.
I can't remember my hat. I can't remember my hat right now.
So, 5500 BC, that's pretty much when we have the earliest evidence of cheese making in Poland, which is why I bring this up. Basically, we found cheese strainers, which were coated with milk fat molecules. So, could you tell me a little bit about milk fat molecules, why that matters?
Because cheese. That's the answer. It's just cheese.
Cheesy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, that's
That's
some
it.
pretty life-changing stuff there. I mean, cheese, we all like cheese. I know you like cheese, and you
Cheese
also
every day.
like cheese, you know.
You like cheese.
It's
Cheese with
su-
my milk.
yeah, I mean, it's such an integral part of our everyday lives, and to think that it goes all the way back that far is just really, it's kind of spiritual in a way, you know. Like it's like cheese is something that connects us, like, to man's earliest form. You know, it's
Connects
like
us on an emotional and historical level.
yeah.
Exactly.
So here's the thing, right? I know you guys know this, but the audience at home might not know this. Is that cheese making, while that's our earliest evidence in Poland, it may have actually started independently. The fact is we don't know just due to the nature of how old it is. But it may have started independently in Asia by pressing and salting of curdled milk to preserve it. Have you ever had a salted cheese before?
No, but now I want to try that.
Or is that just putting salt on cheese?
I
I mean, that's
That's a
probably
good question. I actually have no idea. I imagine it's pretty good though.
Probably.
You know, I mean, you take salt, you take cheese, and those are two really good foods. You know, you just
Good food
smash them together like that. You know, there's some really good stuff. You know, I imagine it would have some kind of magical properties. You know, because like salt. You know,
Salt.
demons don't like salt. You know.
Neither do snails.
This is
That's true. Do you think snails might be, demonic entities, or
100% they are coming for us.
That's
They
why the
will
French
kill
eat
us
them.
all.
That's why the French eat them. They're saving us.
Oh, no, the French don't do anything useful.
They eat
well, except for
snails.
that, they do get rid of the snails, and
That's just
the
true.
French are pretty prolific for their cheese making skills and
Yeah.
their love of cheese. So
Now, where does Wisconsin fit in all this?
Wisconsin.
That is
See, that's a great question, and that is something we're going to be getting into in the next couple episodes. But for now, we haven't even begun really. We're still way back, prehistory.
So we got to get in.
So we gotta
gotta jump in.
speed through this,
gotta
man.
boogie.
Speed run.
So.
Shoot on this.
So we've been talking a little bit about how ancient peoples preserved milk and how that ultimately led up to cheese. But more solid and better textured curds, which is what they were making with the salting and curdling of the milk, the more solid and better textured ones, sorry, it may have led to deliberate addition of rennet, which is, as you know, an internet website where people share really awful memes. And and offensive political opinions.
So cheese is the reason we have Reddit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do
well,
not like
well,
cheese,
it's the
and
other
that
way.
would
It's
make
the other way
sense.
around. So
Reddit's
they
the reason we
added
have cheese.
Reddit to cheese or to cheese curds to turn it into cheese. Because you see the toxicity of Reddit, it cancels out the baseness of the milk and makes it much more solid. It makes it much more preservable. Yeah.
Reddit cheese.
So,
wonder if Reddit has a cheese subreddit.
oh, it definitely does. There was.
100%.
I was on it.
subreddit for everything.
I was looking up like potato stuff the other day, and I found the cult of potatoes on Reddit. It's a
yeah, you
subreddit.
showed us
Yeah.
Showed us that. Very unfunny stuff on there.
It was very.
I thought it was
funny.
hilarious. What are you talking about, man?
Well, it's
very-
Reddit, so
You don't like potatoes?
I like some potatoes and
Hey, look. Potatoes are amazing. Cheese is amazing. Smash them together, you get cheesed potatoes.
Or potato cheese.
That's true.
cheese
That's true.
potato sounds better.
Well, I think
But you can
whichever
potato
one you
cheese.
go with, it kind of depends on like the proportionality of cheese to potato. So like if you have more potato than cheese, then it's cheesed potatoes. But if you have more cheese than potatoes, it's potatoed cheese. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been showing you guys around the town a lot while you've been in town for the podcast, and
Very nice town.
thank you very much.
awesome.
We're all very proud of Broken Arrow.
I'm thinking about moving here. You know, guys.
That would be really great. I mean, look, if you do wind up moving here, I would love to have you back on the podcast again. And even if you don't, you know, you're always welcome to come down and stay a few nights, you know? But I was showing you guys the other day where I work in my off time when I'm not doing the podcast, Panda Express. You know, Panda Express, what's up? Represent. Chinese food. Something you probably don't think of when you see Chinese food, though, is cheese.
Sounded you were
Sure.
gonna
I don't think of Chinese
You were
food. I think
transitioning into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you weren't sure where I was going with this. But the fact is, while we found evidence of cheese making, the oldest actual cheese we found was in the Taklamakan Desert, quite the name, in China.
China.
Dates back to around 1615 BC. Now, another place you might not think of when you think cheese is ancient Egypt. Fun fact, they also had beer, which,
I honestly can't think of a food.
Why does that
for
actually make a
Egypt.
lot of sense though?
yeah,
Whenever
right?
I think of Egypt, I just don't think of food or
Everybody
Drinks.
just thinks of
Yeah.
pyramids
Egypt.
and
Everyone just thinks of ancient
Pharaoh.
Egypt.
I think of that Slave Market song from Joseph King of Dreams. Great movie, by the way.
I first think the pyramids, and I think of that one Scooby Doo episode, Nietzsche.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Scooby-Doo has a lot of great cheeses in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
we should go over that in the next episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Cheese in the
So,
media.
So the reason I bring up Egypt was because it's actually a very close second, and it may not seem that way at first, but the second oldest cheese we found was in 1200 BC in an Egyptian tomb.
My
And
man like cheese.
yeah, they
Yeah,
made
they
cheese
buried with it.
apparently. Apparently they made cheese. They loved cheese so much that they put it in their tombs. And
I'm
the
gonna do that.
I want to be buried with
I'm gonna
cheese.
be buried in cheese. My coffin's gonna be made out of cheese.
My cheese. I mean, my casket. My casket is gonna just be painted like a cheese, like with
painted
holes.
like
No,
a
I'm having
cheese,
a- I'm having a
like a
good
Swiss
office.
cheese with the holes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See-through
Yeah, it's gonna,
cheese.
that's my
See-through
casket, and it's gonna. My eyes. You know how like
It's gonna have.
sometimes like dimes on eyes.
Oh, you're gonna have cheese.
exactly.
I like that. The
I'm
little
gonna have
baby
my
bells.
eyes-
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
my eyes removed and replaced with cheese balls
That is very spiritual, man.
I'm gonna have a cheese
And-
tie. You know,
made out of real cheese.
I got that swish.
It's just the whole fashionista of
I'm
cheese,
gonna have a ring of cheese on me.
dude. So
Historians would be confused.
oh, sorry. So the reason I bring that date up, one, because it's very close, and two, because if you'll notice, 1200 BC, that is pretty close to the end of the prehistoric era.
Bum,
Bum, bum.
So
Sinclair.
is also very close to the age of Mycenaean Greece, which leads up to next week's episode. I'm going to be, hopefully, if they are still in town, I'm going to be having Andrew and Cademan back on the podcast for next episode, where we will be delving into the not prehistory of cheese, but the early history of cheese
think it
with
should be
Greece and ancient Rome. So thank you both for joining me today on the History of Cheese podcast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Later.